Okay, it's 5:52 in the morning, and today is the day that we start to move to DC. Said goodbye to our family. Pretty tough, but let's get going. Goodbye, stick. T-shirt idea.
No mechanic, but I don't think this is supposed to happen.
So it's currently 1:24 p.m. in the afternoon. We should be at 7 hours into the drive, but we're stuck at 3 in a little town called Perry Sound. Shout out to Colleen and Ryan for breakfast this morning. We had a little problem with the tire. The bolts that hold the brakes in place, yeah, we don't have those anymore. We lost them somewhere along the way. So we're at Canadian Tire, and we're gonna wait to see what we can do to get back on the road.
If you can plan it, I'd recommend doing it during working week hours. So if you need a mechanic or you need something, they're open.
So there's 2 life lessons. 1, don't do a road trip on the weekend when you're driving through small towns. And 2, don't compensate. Don't get a big truck to try and make yourself feel better, because buying parts is harder. So I think that's the real lesson that we're learning.
Didn't work.
We quit.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Jess's dad tried to bring bolts from my old truck that were still with him. They were the wrong size. He tried to take the bolts off of his Ram 3500, but it's, I guess, between 2015 and 2019 they changed the bolts, so they also weren't the same size. So we have slightly off diameter bolts in there right now. And we went back to Colleen and Ryan's for the night and potentially 2 nights.
2 nights for sure. So like we said earlier, pro tip, don't travel on a weekend. We thought we were doing the right thing so we could skip traffic. Not worth it. Everything is closed until Monday morning, so we are at a standstill until then. The closest dealership is either in Barrie, which is an hour and a half away, or in Sudbury, which is an hour and a half away. So we choose north or south and hope that we can get there. If not, we're gonna have to get one of the dads out here to bring us apart, because there's nothing we can do right now. Totally worth the view though. These guys have an amazing property, super beautiful couple with a beautiful home, so we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, very lucky to get stuck here rather than
in the middle of Saskatchewan, or
yeah.
no offense to Saskatchewan, but
Saskatoon.
Yeah, I'm from Saskatchewan. That's up in Canada, eh?
good morning. It is about 7 a.m. Monday morning. So yesterday we just took a minute to reconstruct, come up with a new plan, and then honestly we did nothing. We just hung out, and Ryan did his taxes, so that's super productive. But today the plan is basically to find a dealership that's open at 8 a.m. That's why we're leaving so early. And they're going to be able to either give us the parts that we need or tell us the closest dealership that has one. Murphy's not exactly enthusiastic about it. And I guess neither is Coda.
A few moments later.
That didn't work. The only place I had it was Downview Chrysler in Toronto. They have 3. So we called them, and they told us that someone had just bought all 3 like 5 minutes before that. So we figured it was the mechanic that safetied my truck. So I called him. It was him. He has them. He couldn't get anyone to bring them out to us, so he's coming out. He's on his way. So we're driving back to Parry Sound, and he's gonna come, put it on the truck, make sure nothing's wrong.
Kind of pointless. Woke up at 6:30. Drove an hour with the dogs. Kind of unsuccessful, but in a way it was successful. Everything's working out for the best now. Fingers crossed. We're gonna go back to Colleen and Ryan's. Pack everything. Shower maybe, because after this it's gonna be a while. And yeah, we're hopeful. The hope is coming back.
Everything but your what?
BTE.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it. We are officially back on the road.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again for the baggers.
This is for real this time. We are headed to BC. We had a mechanic who originally was working on this truck before we got it drive to a dealership in downtown Toronto, drive all the way up to Parry Sound to our friend's house there, and install the new bolts on the calipers, then checked all the other calipers, made sure everything was good and tight for us, and we picked up the trailer and we are back at it.
Yep.
So that feels pretty good. It's only 2.5 days later than we expected, but stuff happens on a road trip that you're not prepared for and you can't expect and prepare for, but that's okay. We're all safe. Boys are somewhere knocked out.
We made it. We got here. Truck's fine. Everything's good. We just ate. Time for bed. We'll do it again tomorrow.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Okay, we have arrived at campsite number 2. Yay, that's exciting. And right now we are currently setting up our tent, which is going to be our new hot tent. We did not set it up before we left. That was the one most important thing on our checklist that we did not do. So we are unpackaging it and setting it up. Why not? We got here early, plenty of time. Ryan's gonna get going on it. Nice, boy. Don't know if you can tell. There's heat coming out in our finished final product of the makeshift hot tent that hopefully doesn't burn down our tent and kill us in our sleep. Don't tell Ryan, but I managed to get the fire going. That's all me. Not really. He started it and then it died. But I did the hard work.
Steak and then dinner sponsored by Andres and Christelle, our good Mexican couple friends. Straight from Mexico. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so as you can see from the video that just played, we got to the property at around 9 p.m., 9:30, so it was pretty dark. We were still super excited, but we couldn't really see too much. It was raining and it was already getting pretty cold, so the celebration didn't last that long. It took us a while to park the tool trailer, and then after that we just started setting up the tent so that we could just get in and go to bed. It took us a while to debate if we were going to try and set up the hot stove, and we didn't really think it was going to be worth it because of the fly trap and the rain trap that would keep us dry. We thought that was more worth it than staying warm. Huge mistake. I was freezing the entire night. Ryan was completely fine, but he woke up to the sound of my teeth chattering and my whole body shaking, so he slapped on a bunch of heat pads. Shout out to Ryan's mom for giving us those before we left. And then he boiled water and threw it in my Nalgene and threw it at the bottom of my sleeping bag, and that was the only way I could really keep warm. The next morning, we woke up at around 6:30 to the sound of our neighbors walking directly past our tent, because there's actually a trail that leads to a beautiful little park nearby, and we were pretty much camping on it. So that was pretty embarrassing, but still happy to wake up there.
The excavators started at 7, started dumping loads, and it might not look like much, but there's been a lot of progress. They started 3 or 4 days before we arrived. They started bringing in the structural fill and trying to bring our property up, because it's on a pretty steep grade. So a lot of progress has been made. It was really nice to see some progress. And then yeah, it was a rainy morning, but it was still beautiful to see our property and see the view, and yeah.
Yeah, we got to meet a lot of our neighbors on the first day that we were actually there. It's a very social environment. A lot of kind of retired people, some young families, which is nice. So one step at a time, kind of moving forward. The biggest step is to get a trailer. And you guys will see that in the next video.
Yeah.
Because that was fun.
Spoiler alert, we got one.
Yeah. Oops.
Right.
We also need to get better at vlogging. We're still new and we always forget to document the important stuff. But
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you guys. See you
See ya.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.